Welcome back to Blender, everyone. I'm your host, the Housecoat Gamer, and today we're taking a look at some more of my creations. Commissions from our friends at Home Track. And what you're looking at here is the D5A Raptor, a TOS modernization of, well, you know, the Enterprise D5. Full disclaimer, and I fully admit this, I did not have a good ornithograph of the TOS Raptor. If I did, this would look a lot better. Now, again, if anyone, and I mean anyone, goes, okay, I'm going to make a full blueprint of the ship for you, all those views, go ahead. I will gladly accept it, and I will gladly use it to remake these ships. Until then, this is what we got. I primarily use the Enterprise Ornitho for this one, which is, well, if I made any mistakes, and I probably did, all of them are due to me trying to eyeball this thing. For example, that big open area here, I used a sphere, and then I booled in a cylinder to, well, put in a torpedo tube. And this little pinprick on the rear end here is another torpedo tube. Again, if I can't see what I'm doing, if I can't see how I'm remaking the ship, I'm gonna have problems. And because there's no detailed stuff, well, I can't be blamed. On the other hand, I can't exactly you get the idea. This is the D9, the Super Dreadnought from the late TOS era. Now, obviously, I've had some artistic interpretations. For example, here on the rear end, well, on both sides of the nacelle, you see these big rectangular blocks. I am of the personal opinion those are beam emitters. Disruptor beams. And those big giant rivets are disruptor cannons. The tubes you see here, photon torpedoes, obviously. I gave her 6, just like her, I suppose, spiritual successor, the Sword of Kalis. And lots of rivet disruptors. You know, just to give her a lot of guns. She is supposed to be the Klingon version of the Atlas. Yes, I'm well aware that in role and starship traits in STO, she doesn't exactly match up to that, but, well, doesn't really matter, does it? In practice, she is just a Klingon Atlas. Just with disruptors and a cloaking device. And that brings us up to the ship I consider a bit of a pain in the rear end. The Romulan Thry. Where do I begin with you? Alright, I know exactly where to begin with you. Lack of a good ornitho. See, again, I am very much a person of... I'm very good at making clones, but I need a good image. a full blueprint in order to fully recreate a starship. And while I fully admit that I probably didn't do the best job with the Thry, well, I don't think I can be particularly blamed for all the problems. After all, I had a really, really grainy image to work with. For example, this thick central section, I'm not entirely sure if that actually exists in the STO model. The problem is I don't have the Thry. I haven't exactly been working on getting mud boats for STO for the last few months. I mean, good lord, I've been more focused on preparing for the next anniversary set. I mean, I'm working on trying to get more mud boats, specifically the temporal set, so I can actually take a look at these ships and, well, model them. But I think I did my best. She has lots of rivet disruptors, very much like the Klingon ship, as well as 3 plasma torpedo launchers, and a sextet of, well, disruptor beam emitters. Unless those are plasma torpedo launchers too, I'm not sure. There is an inset impulse engine here inside the, well, spine. This ship was not easy to make. And I think it's the sin of pride here, but I am particularly proud of the fact that I was able to get the double hull in more or less the right proportions. Then again, like I said before, bad ortho. If there was a better ortho, specifically a semi-cutaway that allowed me to see the interior of the hull, I'd be able to clone this thing a little bit better. But as it is, I did what I could. Hopefully all of these ships will be seen in home track soon. And hopefully people aren't going to complain very much about my, well, work. As for why I'm posting this update instead of waiting to give you another starship, well, that's because I've been given another commission. I am to clone the starships, the Klingon, quote-unquote, starships of Star Trek Discovery. Now, before you pull out the torches and pitchforks, okay, you over there, turn off the flamethrower, okay? Listen up. Let me speak my piece before you decide to destroy me. I am not going to be cloning them as seen in the show, because as we all know, I have zero respect for STD's starships. At least as we see them. Now, do they exist in the Prime timeline as they are? No. Do they exist in a form more akin to, well, this? Yes. That is my end goal. To clone the ships, but clone them in a way that doesn't make them look like someone vomited up their entrails. To make them look like actual starships and not, well, you get the point. That said, there's only one starship that I'm not going to be outright trying to clone, and that's E.C. Henry's Machala class refit. That I'm just going to build. After all, it's better than the other options. Now, I hope you enjoyed this little update, because it's gonna be the last one for a good long time. Also, if anyone wants to draw me up some proper blueprints of these ships, I will not argue. I will, in fact, well, I'll use them. Housecoat Gaming, signing off.